England get the job done over Wales in the Women's Six Nations. And yes, sorry this video is a couple of days late, but you know, I'm going to use Mother's Day as an excuse, although it's not really. But England do a fantastic job to beat Wales. I'm going to do an individual video talking about this game because I think there's a lot to talk about, especially as an England fan. Lots of talking points for me. Let's get straight into it. You know, a really clinical performance from England. They didn't really drop off at any point throughout the game, whereas in the England-Italy game last week, there was sort of a drop-off point in the second half. We scored only, I think it was 5 points, maybe 7 points in the second half. So much more promising this game. We were consistent throughout the 80. Let's get into the game itself, though. It's actually a fast start for Wales because they get the first try. I've got to remind me how it happened. Oh, yeah, this is the talking point in itself. Hunt passes back to Harrison, who goes to clear it, and that gets charged down, and that ends up being a 5 metre scrum because Zoe Harrison touches the ball down in the in-goal area, whatever it's called, the touch try area. So yeah, but what I want to talk about is why is Natasha Hunt throwing it back to Zoe Harrison to kick the ball away? I was at the PWR final. The vlog will come out at some point, probably next weekend when there's no Women's Six Nations game. That'll be a replacement. But why is Natasha Hunt throwing the ball back to Zoe Harrison and kicking off 10? We have seen, I've been to the PWR final, I've seen Saracens kick off Zoe Harrison, whereas Gloucester Hartbury kicked off Mo Hunt at 9. And the kicking strategy is just, it's way better to kick off 9. It's a proven thing. That's why every team pretty much kicks off 9, at least in the men's game where nines are probably better kickers on average than the average female scrum half, just because of the more development and the player numbers and stuff. But Natasha Hunt is a great box kicker. I would be asking her to clear that. If I'm the coach, I'd be wanting to kick off 9, not off 10. Only men's team that still does it is All Blacks. I have no idea why they don't kick off their 9. It just confuses me, and I think that's something England got wrong, and it backfired because they got charged down, and I just think you should be kicking off your scrum half, personally. And then from that scrum, Wales go through a few phases, and then it's Jenny Scoble scores. So it goes 5-0. I think I'm right in saying 5-0 to Wales. So a great start for the Welsh. It might be 7-0, I can't remember. But yeah, well done to Wales. And it was nice to see them get the first try, get the crowd up for it. Talking about the crowd, we've got to get into that fact quickly. It's a record crowd in Wales. I got to check my number here. Let me show my paper over. 21,186 people. A record crowd for any Welsh women's sporting event. You know, including football and I don't know what else there is. Nothing that big. But you know, it's a fantastic achievement. And I am a big believer in playing in smaller stadiums, which you'll feel for atmosphere. But I do think when you've got 2 or 3 home games, you might as well play one in your national stadium against your big rivals England and get as many people as you can, even if it won't be full. So yeah, well done to the Welsh girls and the fans for going there. I know some will be English as well, but I reckon there's still 15, 16, 17,000 Welsh fans who know their team's going to get pumped and they still turn up and supporting like crazy. So great crowd for Welsh rugby there, and yeah, really promising. I've got to go back into my sort of list here. Oh yeah, so the first England try though in response that comes soon after the Welsh one is Maddie Feanati. She scores and she was fantastic this game. She did some really nice carries. She did some really delicate little pop passes as well. So yeah, I thought she was fantastic, and her and Alex Matthews are going to be battling out for that 8 jersey come the Rugby World Cup. I think Alex Matthews is still, correct me if I'm wrong, suffering a 2 or 3 game ban from a high tackle at the end of the PWR final. So that's why she's not allowed to be picked right now. So yeah, well done to Feanati getting the first try. And then Meg Jones scores a spectacular try for England's second try. And I thought she was fantastic. I thought she was absolutely brilliant all game. I think she might be my personal man of the match, although some people might say Feanati. Obviously, it doesn't go to either of them. We'll get into that later. But yes, a fantastic try for Meg Jones, and she sort of looks up to the skies because it's her first England appearance since both her parents sadly passed away. So a nice moment for Megan. And obviously, she was born in Cardiff. She was from Wales. I think she played in the age grades for Wales. So yeah, just a massive occasion for her, a massive game and a massive try. So, and she had a great game, so well done to her. Sarah Byrne goes over for a try there after that, so that makes it like 3 tries to England. England just too much power. The forwards were folding round, and this was one of the examples of Feanati doing a really nice pop pass, delicate hands to Sarah Byrne, who just has too much power and goes over. And then Feanati goes over herself again. So she goes over for a second try, and it's like 4 tries up for England to Wales' 1. And I want to talk about that actually. England had a disallowed try as well. I think, I can't try and remember back to it now. So I think Jess Breach is the one who scores it. Ellie Kildun throws a pass to Dow, I think I'm correct in saying, and she goes down on the right wing and passes the ball on the final tackler to Jess Breach, who scores. It's ruled out for a forward pass. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. That is definitely not a forward pass, and the refs do not have they don't like England's trajectory ball throwing clearly here, because there's a couple of line outs which were called not straight, which was like, that was fine. That was disallowed. They almost disallowed another one in the second half for a forward pass, maybe, but still not conclusive for me. So again, just a forward pass rule is really annoying me here. But yeah, Zoe Allcroft also make a couple of fantastic line breaks in this first half. There's one where she just comes in at a brilliant angle from the sort of wing, cutting back inside and makes a 30-metre line break. She had another fantastic game, leading from the front, showing herself why she truly is being chosen as the England captain. So well done to Zoe Allcroft. But then half-time at 7:26, I was wrong earlier, it was a converted try, so 7:26 to England. And then second half, we carry on quickly, and there's an 8-minute hat-trick for Ellie Kildun. And if I'd made the fantasy change like I meant to and captained her, I would have been laughing, but I forgot, so I was annoyed. But anyway, Ellie Kildun scores a hat-trick. The first one is Zoe Harrison doing just a big pass out to Kildun on the left. So they're about 5 metres out, not too much for Kildun to do. And then the second try is very similar. It's sort of they're attacking England. They're putting the pressure on. They're about 5-7 metres out. I'm saying go left, because Kildun does what she does. What she does is hangs at the back of the ruck, and then she'll loop round as soon as she knows which way the ball's going. And then they eventually go right instead, and I think it's just, I don't know, Hunt out to Harrison, and then into Kildun, into the corner, and she gets her second try. And the third try is the exciting one, because I think it's pretty much through the hands of all the backs. It's like Hunt to Harrison, to Hurd, to Jones, to Kildun, to Breach, and then Breach kicks forward and Kildun's on her inside shoulder, and she has the pace to get ahead and kicks it ahead again, and then she dots down. So that is her hat trick. The Cowboy celebrations are out. This is where they check the forward pass, I think, but it's cleared as okay, flat enough. And yeah, it's 8-minute hat trick for Ellie Kildun. She's flying, and England are flying. They're like 7 tries up at this point, so Wales is 1. However, Wales are the team to get the next try. I got to check who scored. Oh yes, there's a scrum on the left, I think it is, and I think England are absolutely winning the scrum, but they managed to get it out, and the Welsh flyer winger Cox goes down on the left wing, and she's about to get tackled into touch. I think it's by Dow, but she gets the offload away to Gloucester Hartbury, to Katie Williams, the flanker, and yeah, a good try for the Welsh to at least get one back. But it doesn't last long, because England then get another try. I'm saying kick because I just read kick, because it was a fantastic kick from Zoe Harrison. Pinpoint accuracy to Abby Dow on the right wing, and she has enough to get round the Welsh defender and score in the corner. So yes, more nice play from England, some varied play with the kicks coming in. I have to change my sheet of paper to see what happens afterwards. Oh yes, a fantastic try for Abby Burton. Of course, she suffered from an autoimmune illness 2 or 3 years ago, and she was in a sort of induced coma for a couple of months, I think I'm correct in saying. So she manages to score her first try on her debut, which is absolutely fantastic. I think England are just again about 5 metres out. They're going through the forwards, and I think Gallagher had just carried one. Then they go out to Burton, and she scores. So fantastic for Abby, and she had a really good sort of 20 minutes when she came on, so that was really nice to see. And I'll point it out again because I want people to get the message in their heads. Another Yorkshire girl scoring, another Northern girl, some key players for England coming from up north. Why not put a PWR team up north? I'll make a separate video on that. But yeah, great try for Abby Burton, fully deserved, and she's come through a lot to get there. Then there's another try. Abby Dow gets the try. It's a scrum in the corner. Packer gets it out to Harrison, to Dow. And then one last try. Abby Burton gets her second try. She gets the ball on the edge of the 22, sort of near the wing, after the ball's sort of been passed through the hands, and she has the gas and the sort of space to get over. Jess Breach sort of on her inside as a support line, but also blocking off any defenders getting there. So 2 tries for Abby Burton on her debut. Fantastic for her. And yeah, well, what the key, it finishes 67-12, I should say, to England. But I think the key point is, how many times did I say Zoe Harrison there? Zoe Harrison key to a lot of these tries. She sort of really ran the show well, I thought. It's interesting though, because Aitchison also, I thought, played really well last week against Italy. So there's definitely a lot of debate who's going to be playing that 10 role. Obviously, Helena Rowland also came on this game. And so we had 3 10s on at some point because Zoe Harrison never came off either. So it's going to be interesting. I think both or all 3 of these 10s need to be tested against harder opposition. Wales and Italy are the 2 easiest teams, you would say. So I'd like to see Harrison get at least a half starting, maybe 50, 60 minutes against France. I'd like to see Aitchison come on and then play that role. And then against Ireland, I'd like to see Rowland get some time and then probably more time for Aitchison. So that I just think they need to be tested against the better opposition in the Six Nations. As much as it was great seeing Zoe Harrison, seeing what she can do, it is against lesser opposition. Let's see what she can do against the really tough teams. Also, for Zoe Harrison, 6 out of 11 tries were converted. Is that going to be enough in a World Cup final when you're only scoring maybe 3 or 4 tries and you're only converting 1 or 2? Might be another reason to play Emma Singh. It's very difficult though because all 3 of the England back 3 played very well this game. Kildunn, Breach and Dow. Thought Dow probably didn't get as much action because they seem to always attack down Breach's wing. Kildunn sort of showed up when she needed to. She's Ellie Kildunn. So do you drop Breach maybe? Obviously Venner and McDonald also played very well last game. So there's so many backline options here for England. It's pretty scary. Emily Scarrett is fantastic, but Meg Jones was brilliant. So a lot for John Mitchell to think about in the next 2 weeks. I can't remember who England are playing next. I'll check that quickly now. And it's Ireland away next. And I think personally, for me, Rowland would be bottom of the 3 10s in my rankings. So I'd like to see Rowland come off the bench here and maybe Aitchison start. I'd like to see Zoe Harrison tested up against the French. I think for me, it's called me Saracen's bias, but she's probably my first choice in what I see. So I'd like to see her against the toughest team. But I don't care who starts against France as long as it's either Aitchison or Harrison, in my opinion. So yeah, 6 out of 11 tries. It's probably an argument for Emma Singh to play because she's probably the best goal kicker England have. Kildunn obviously gets the hat-trick and she gets player of the match. I don't think she's my player of the match. As I said, I think Meg Jones probably gets that for me. But there's also fantastic performances from Zoe Harrison, from Aldcroft, from Fayanati. So, Ellie Kildunn, you can't really deny when she gets 3 tries. The commentators are always going to give it to her. But 2 of them were really walk-ins. There could have been anyone else there. I would think Meg Jones was fantastic. So she was my personal player of the match. And also Kildunn hobbles off. She hobbles off with 8 or 9 minutes to go. Now, I got a lot of stick last week. I'm sorry, I'm going to call some people out on my either TikTok or YouTube. I got stick for saying give her more time up in Yorkshire. And people said they're resting her. She's a big gear. And I get that. However, why is she playing 73 minutes when we're 50 points up over Wales? And she's already scored a hat-trick. Like, why is she playing the last 20 minutes? Like, take her off. And now you're risking her having a knock against Ireland. I feel my choice is vindicated because you could have played her half an hour last week and played her 1 half this week. And it'd been much better managed and you get to inspire people in her home county. So I feel like I had a point. But yeah, she hobbles off, which is a bit worrying, but I think she's okay. She's smiling. She's walking around with a 50th cap shirt. I should mention also 50 caps, so what a way to play your 50th game. Well done to Ellie Kildunn for getting 50 caps, and hopefully you'll get another 50 in the future. And yeah, I was going to say, just go back to the record crowd, 21,186 in Cardiff. So that is all promising. Lots of promising things and signs for women's rugby in the UK and just in the Six Nations. We'll get into the sort of other 2 games and a quick recap of this game in the next video, which will probably be out tomorrow. But thank you guys if you've managed to get this far through this one. Please subscribe if you want to see tomorrow's video, if you want to see more women's Six Nations content coming out, the Rugby World Cup, sort of the USA are playing warm-up games, and Australia and New Zealand and Canada. So all these teams I'll be watching and covering and doing videos on, hopefully not always 2 days late. So sorry about that, but please do like this one if you want to see the next few. And yeah, thanks for watching.